If you were asked which YouTuber you thought was the most wholesome, purest person on this entire godforsaken platform, who would it be? Alright, you're not stupid, obviously you saw the title and the thumbnail, so you know that this video is about Reviewbrah. But I suspect that there's a good chance that even if you didn't know that, you might still choose him. And of course, one of the most immutable laws on the internet is that if there's something pure, someone will try to destroy it. And with that in mind, I bring you the tale of Reviewbrahs Stalker. I'm gonna play you a clip of the Report of the Week's review of Taco Bell's Spicy Triple Double Crunch Wrap. Pay very close attention to this clip because I want to see if you notice anything unusual.
Alright, as for the jalapenos, they're there, but they don't really, they more or less blend in with everything else. You can taste, again, a little bit of spiciness from them.
If you didn't see it, don't worry, because neither did the vast majority of the people watching this video when it came out on July 28th of 2016. But people started to pay closer attention after he left this comment. I was gang-stalked the entire time I filmed this review. I tried to pay the perps no heed, but it was quite scary. And although the overwhelming response to this comment was support from his fans, there were some people who doubted him. A small minority of people actually thought that he was faking it to drum up drama for views. I smelled a fish on this one too. YouTube channels need drama to increase their subscribers. The whole thing smelled fishy from long ago. This wasn't a very popular theory and people thinking it were quickly shouted down because obviously this is just not his style. There was, however, a larger minority of people who began to become concerned about Reviewbrah's mental health. And a big part of that wasn't just that he said he was stalked, he said he was being gang-stalked. The thing about gang-stalking is it's very often reported by people who are suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. People who say that they're being gang-stalked often report that they're being followed by vans, helicopters, they're being surreptitiously recorded by their own devices, TVs, phones, and whatnot. They think their homes are bugged, they think there's actors following them around trying to lure them into a false sense of security. All of this as a part of some larger conspiracy to get at them for some reason. For an example of what I'm talking about, here are some examples of gang-stalking victims describing what they're going through.
Police vehicles driving slowly along the street, but they never came up to me or said anything. And then I had 7 or 8 helicopters hovering directly over my apartment. Here it comes. I get to see if I don't know if you can hear that on the audio, but we're getting a buzz right now.
You know, heterosexual couples would hold hands and like stroll through the back of the parking lot like they were on some 1950s sitcom. People that are trying to look incredibly normal look incredibly abnormal because they're acting.
Keep these people's stories in mind now when listening to what Reviewbrah had to say the next day.
You know what happened, if you look in the review, the last review, the Taco Bell one, around 6 minutes and 36 seconds in, you'll see this green van drive through the shot.
You remember that clip that I showed you at the beginning of the video, right? Let's take another look at it.
They more or less blend in with everything else. You can taste, again.
So we see the van that he's talking about, but then he goes on to explain the part that we didn't see.
And this green van was following me around all day long, and I thought, you know, well, okay, perhaps it's just a local resident, perhaps they're going to the same place as I'm going, right? No big deal. But what really got me was, during the course of this review, this green van drives through the shot, pulls perpendicular to me, had 2 passengers, the driver and the passenger in it, and the passenger side window, while I'm filming, rolls down, and the passenger suddenly gets a camera and starts filming me continuously while I'm just sitting here minding my business, and then as soon as I stopped filming and looked at them, they rolled up the window and got out of there.
And you might hear his story and think, oh shit, he's talking about vans following him and being recorded just like the people in the Vice story. But I think there's a distinction to be made. It's important to note that in Reviewbrah's story that he's not talking about any greater conspiracy to get him, he's not talking about a pattern of events or things happening to him. In this case, he's only talking about this one specific incident of a van following him around with a bunch of people in it and recording him, which is Honestly, something that's very likely to happen to a big YouTuber. If I had to guess, I would say that he probably simply misused the word gangstalking. He might have thought that it simply referred to being stalked by multiple people. And also it does kind of sound like an old-timey word a little bit, which is his aesthetic. So with that in mind, I think a lot of the speculation about his mental health was mostly fueled by misunderstandings and miscommunications. And it would be cool if that's where the story ended, but it's not. You see, at this point, he had made one of the cardinal mistakes that you always want to avoid doing on the internet. He appeared vulnerable. And when you appear vulnerable on the internet, especially when you have a big platform, someone's going to try to take advantage of that. And that's exactly what happened on July 30th, a day after this video was released, when a person made this post on poll. Anyone want some rare Reviewbrahs I stole from his house last night? Also, my van was featured in one of his latest videos. Topcack, this kid is paranoid as fuck now. Also, I know his entire night walk route he takes. Paul was one place he shouldn't have visited. The red pill comes with side effects. This person would go on to post pictures of Reviewbrah with his family. He claimed that he knew the times that he goes out for walks and that he does his walks while wearing his suits. And at some point he was saying that he was outside Reviewbrah's home waiting, trying to get him to eat some brownies. And while some people were curious about this situation, a lot of people just told the guy to fuck off. With Reviewbrah being as well liked as he is, a lot of people didn't really take kindly to some random guy fucking with him like this. And others were quick to note that some of the photos he posted were already available online through family members' Facebooks and things like that. And also, it showed that the guy was posting from Korea, which you might be surprised to find out Reviewbrah does not live in Korea. Of course, if you wanted to, and if you were confessing to doing something very illegal on the internet, you probably would want to make it look like you were somewhere that you really weren't. How would you do that? I'm glad you asked, because this video is sponsored by NordVPN. Literally one click and you can make it look like you're anywhere else in the world. Let's go to Azerbaijan. Now that we're in Azerbaijan, let's post something. It thinks we're in Azerbaijan. We got him, guys. And sure, you can just use it to do things like this and fuck around. Or if you're a huge weeb like me, make yourself a Japanese Spotify account, but there's actually serious good uses for it too. If you wanted to, you could use NordVPN to hide all of your internet browsing data because they're in Panama and they don't need to keep logs. If you found my channel through the My Little Pony Cum Jar video, and I know a lot of you did, you're probably the kind of person who would benefit from hiding your internet browsing history forever. And if you ever connect to public Wi-Fi, guess what? That's basically the equivalent of leaving your doors unlocked. NordVPN will encrypt your data on your computer and your phone and can actually help prevent you from getting stalked or having your social media accounts hacked, your bank accounts drained. I know that would have been helpful when my credit card got stolen. And NordVPN is offering my viewers a 66% off discount for 2 years of their service. Just go to nordvpn.com/Whang and use my promo code Whang, that's WHANG, to help hide all of your filth from the world. So yeah, it's very likely that that poll user was using a VPN or a proxy to make it look like they were somewhere that they weren't, but at the same time, I still think he was full of shit. In all likelihood, he was just taking advantage of a publicly known situation using publicly available information to have a laugh at Reviewbrah's expense. But Reviewbrah wasn't laughing. And on the 12th of August, keen observers noticed something a little concerning in the background of one of his videos. Is that a mattress? Do you live out of your car? I think that's a mattress in the back there. As of now, I am living out of the car. Guys, he got kicked out of his house. Look, there's a bed in the back. I still have good relations with my folks. I just have to keep moving. I just have to keep moving. And that quote will become a meme that he was not happy about at the time. This was concerning to a lot of his fans, and he would go on to clarify on Reddit. Living out of his car? In the comments of the Taco Bell Crunchy Cheesy Core Burrito review, a commenter mentions the mattress in the back of Reviewbrahs Car. Reviewbrah replies saying, as of now, I am living out of my car. Is this just his classic brand of sarcasm? Does this have to do with his road travels? Has he been kicked out? I have so many questions. Hopefully they will be cleared up in the next VORW. There is an idiot impersonator that posted earlier, pay him no mind. I am living out of the car at the moment. I haven't been kicked out and family relations are great. I don't want to share too many details at this moment, just know that things are okay. If I had to guess, I would think that perhaps he was living out of his car during this time as a way to protect his family from whatever was going on at the time. Although it's likely that the guys in the van were perhaps just fans and the 4chan post was most likely bullshit, if you're on the receiving end of this, it's still scary. And although Reviewbrah wisely was very tight with details of what was going on, he did provide a few updates. In one video that he uploaded a little over a week after the mattress video, he said that things were starting to get better.
With the whole stalking situation, at least, it is starting to improve, so that's good news there. You can kind of rest assured, at least, that it's starting to get better.
And much more recently, in January of 2018, Reviewbrah responded to a new fan who was concerned about the situation. I am very concerned for Reviewbrah. I stumbled on his channel New Year's Eve and since then have watched many of his videos, listened to VORW, and just overall have become a genuine fan. I've been watching his Q&A videos because I want to understand and know more about him. He's just so genuine and sweet, and despite only watching for a few days, I just want to see him flourish in life and be happy, all that jazz. I'm sure you guys relate. Through these Q&As, I thought about looking through Reddit and look at what people were discussing. I landed on a thread that had sightings of him. Someone mentioned a stalker. I start clicking on links that took me to godawful 4chan and my blood freezes to read that someone has been stalking him, with proof given in stolen family photos. People were wanting to pay the stalker to break in and do whatever the request was, and I'm just here panicking because surely Reviewbrah knows, and yet he continues making videos. I'm sad at how low humanity can be, and with having limited understanding in this community, I would like someone to please explain to me if he is okay, and if not, is there anything at all that we the fans can do? Thankfully, things have gotten better in that regard. The whole issue happened in mid-2016, but I have been able to get past it and things are better now. It's hard to imagine why someone might want to mess with Reviewbrah, who might literally be the only YouTuber I've never seen anybody have a bad word about. But I guess that's just the internet for you. Ultimately, it's just good to know that this situation has been resolved and things are now going good for Reviewbrah. Anyway, that's all for this episode of Tales from the Internet. If you like this one, you will like that one. I'm out of here.